Hello YouTube, welcome to this video where I'm going to unbox and give my initial reactions to the Lenovo Legion 5 Pro Gen 7. So this is the 2022 model. It's the Intel version, so it comes with the Intel 12700H, the i7, 16 gigabytes of RAM, the 3070 Ti and 1 terabyte of storage. We'll do an unboxing and a quick overview of my initial thoughts and reactions. If this content is in any way helpful, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. As ever, thanks for watching. Let's go. Okay, first up, I just want to show where I bought the laptop. It was directly from Lenovo's website. The list price was €2,109. Often they have 10% discounts on their site, which I got, and an extra €50 off. So the total cost, including delivery and taxes, was €1,850. For that then, I got the 12th Gen i7 12700H, the 16-inch screen, the 1600p IPS, 165Hz, 500 nits, G-Sync enabled, 16 gigabytes of DDR5, 4800 speed RAM, a 1 terabyte SSD Gen 4, the NVIDIA RTX 3070 Ti with 8 gigabytes of GDR6, 125 to 150 watt, and the battery inside was the 80 milliamp. The laptop itself I ordered on a Tuesday and it was delivered to me the following Friday, so very quick delivery. When you get the box, this is what you'll expect to get inside. It's basically the laptop on the left, and then the right hand side is for our power brick. The power brick that comes with the 3070 Ti is the 300 watt. It looks to be the same one as last year, so in saying that, it is a big power brick. Big and heavy, so not that portable. In terms of size, it's almost 20 centimeters in length with a width of approximately little over 9.5 centimeters. For thickness then, it comes in at 2.5 centimeters. So not very portable, but this isn't overall a very portable laptop. It's more of a desktop replacement. It's pretty well packaged inside the box. And initially when I took it out, my initial thoughts were this feels premium and definitely looked better than the pictures had me believe. So overall, I was initially very happy when I took it out of the box. Right, so let's firstly look at some ports here. On the rear, we have two USB-A 3.2 Gen 1 ports, a USB-C 3.2 Gen 2 port with DisplayPort 1.4 and power and delivery, HDMI port, Ethernet jack and DC power in. On the right hand side we have USB-A 3.2, the shutter switch for the webcam and the headphone mic combo jack. On the left then, Thunderbolt 4 USB 4 with a second USB-C 3.2 port. This is what the underside of the laptop looks like, which has a metal casing. Again, looks well, and the vents you can see there. So right, back to the top of the laptop. Again, the top lid again is made of metal. I think the Legion logo looks well. Built solidly, resistant to fingerprints. When we open it up then, take away the protective cover, we see the laptop itself. Thickness wise, in the center of the laptop, we're a little over 2.5 centimeters, and at the thickest part then, it goes up as far as 3 centimeters. So not super thin or light, but not too bad either. So overall, the laptop, I would say, looks better than I expected for the price. I think the new Legion logo looks well. I think the materials are sturdy. I think it's built like a tank. The back here, while made of plastic, has all the ports you would need, facing and in the right direction. So there's rear facing ports to keep kind of your cable clutter tidy, and then the rear vents. It's easy to open with one hand. Boots up quickly, wakes from sleep quickly. The trackpad, which is located a little off center, is made of plastic. It takes a little while to get used to, but overall I've been pretty impressed. The clicking is consistent throughout. It makes no unusual rattle noises, and I'll demonstrate here with some sound. Right, next up we'll have a look at the keyboard here. Kind of looks like a ThinkPad keyboard, not quite as good, but I've been happy with the keyboard in terms of typing and gaming so far, and I've only had it about a day at this stage, and I will update in a further review. But I find the keys responsive, reasonably clicky, not too mushy, and not too loud either. So overall, I'd say a pretty good keyboard. It's got 4-zone backlighting, lights up pretty well and pretty consistent across the entire keyboard. So no issues for me. Now for the screen. I think this is one of the main reasons to buy this laptop. This comes with a beautiful 16-inch 2560 by 1600 IPS screen. It's HDR 400, 100% sRGB, 500 nits of brightness, 165 Hz, and has G-Sync built in. I've noticed no backlight bleed that to be concerned about. It's one of actually the better laptops in terms of backlight bleed. It's been smooth, bright, clear, good for gaming, good for desktop use, good for productivity. Absolutely excellent. Next up, I want to show some games here running. Just, I only had the laptop one day here, so this is just initial test, but just to give you some idea of temperatures and power draws from the CPU, GPU, to give you an idea of the performance. There'll be much more detail in a follow-up review. But as you see here, just showing the settings here I use for Call of Duty. This is on the full resolution of 2560 by 1600. I must say it looks great. And the gameplay we're going to see now is after about half an hour of play to give you an idea of how the temperatures settle. Initially, when you start up, you'll get some spikes into the 90s, but once the fans start running as to the normal or their expected speed, you're going to be anywhere between kind of the late 70s to kind of the mid 80s in terms of temperatures. I'd say averaging around 83, 84 for the CPU. GPU temperatures much lower at around the high 60s, as you can see here. Power draw is displayed as well, so about 120 to 130 watts on the 3070 Ti, with kind of the 60 to mid 60s for the CPU, with a decent frame rate of about that 100 frames per second. I must say it runs very smooth. I can conclude by saying initial Warzone tests, I've been impressed. Sound wise, we get about the 50 to 55 decibels when in full load, but the it's not like a whiny noise, it's more of an airflow. It does actually sound decent for the fans. Next up, we're going to look at Elden Ring running here. So this is pretty much every setting turned on to max. The only thing I've turned down slightly is shadows, and we get a pretty consistent 60 frames per second here. Similar kind of temperatures across the board with similar wattages. Again, overall, the game plays pretty well. It's been smooth. Screen looks amazing. For this one, I had HDR on, and while I know it's only HDR 400, you definitely do see a difference while you're playing it. Amazing screen, and I think great performance, and I'll do many more benchmarks with follow-up videos, so please like and subscribe to see those videos coming up. Anything specific you'd like to see, please leave them in the comments below. Next up, Cinebench R23. This is the show with a multi-thread test like this. You will max out the temperatures of the CPU, but I was getting consistent good results here of about 1700, 740 in around that score. That's some of the best results I've seen for this CPU, and definitely I'm seeing a big upgrade to the last generation. Clock speeds are averaging around the 3.6 on the performance cores. Overall, this just to give you an idea of how this new CPU will look, and you can max out the temperatures here. One of the last things I'm going to show here is the HW Info summary screen, just giving you some details on the RAM and RAM timings if you're interested in that. Some details on the GPU, the hard drive, and the Intel processor itself. Just to clear up some final points with this initial 2-day kind of unboxing and overview, all games here were tested in performance mode with the MUX switch for the NVIDIA GPU enabled, so pretty much at the maximum performance. I noticed no backlight bleed on the screen. I thought actually was excellent. No coil whine was noticed while gaming or doing normal tasks. The fans did not spin up while kind of doing normal activities on the laptop, only while gaming or doing intensive tasks. So overall, very happy with the laptop. I'm more impressed than I thought it would be. It feels, while it's not ultra portable, it definitely feels premium. Last year I had the Alienware X17R1 for a short period of time. I had to return it due to cosmetic issue. While this is not on the same level, I'm comfortable with how close it is for the amount I've paid. The Alienware on the Dell website would cost me close to €1,000 more for the same specifications, and the screen would not be as good. I think the screen is one of the most important parts of the gaming laptop, and I think this one is excellent. If anyone out there is considering buying this and can get it at a decent price, and I think around the €1,800 mark, everything included, is a very good price for the specs, I think you'll be very happy. But listen, there's follow-up reviews to come. Please subscribe to get notified of that. And if you have any questions about the laptop, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your day.